All right. The Math Club, and who doesn't love the Math Club? Actually, I kind of dig it. Is selling posters to advertise the National Algebra Day. The following equation represents the profits P they expect for selling N posters at X dollars. P is equal to Xn minus 6N. Having three variables is kind of ugly. We don't really like it. They also know that the number of posters, N, sold depends on the selling price, X, which is represented by N is equal to 20 minus X. Write an equation for the profit in terms of the number of posters sold. In other words, your first step is going to solve this second equation for X. So we have N minus 20 minus X. We need to get the X by itself, so we're going to add X to both sides, because we really do want this positive X, not a negative X. So we end up with X plus N, because the N is positive, is equal to 20, because negative X plus X is 0. So then, let's get the X by itself, so subtract N, subtract N. Now you cannot combine a number and a variable, so you're just left with X is equal to 20 minus N. And that's it. So now, we are being asked to find an equation in terms of the number of posters sold and profit. So we want P, and we want N, we do not want X. So profit is equal to Xn minus 6N. So instead of X, I can write this whole expression. So I'm going to substitute in 20 minus N times N, that's where this N came from, minus 6N. So now I have an equation that is comparing profit and the number of items sold. And that's it. For question B, what is the profit for selling 10 posters? The great thing about having this one equation is now I don't have to do it twice. I don't have to use two equations. So instead of N, in question B, I'm going to use 10. So I'll do this in a different color. So profit is equal to 20 minus 10, because N is 10, times 10 minus 6 times 10. So profit is equal to 10, because 20 minus 10 is 10, times 10 minus 60. Well, 10 times 10 is 100, minus 60, so my profit is equal to $40. What is the selling price for the posters in Part B? Well, the selling price posters in Part B. Profit is always equal to income minus expenses. All right, so profit is always income minus expense. So my income is right here. So then it asks, what is the selling price for the posters in Part B? Well, let's take a look. So the selling price is going to be $10, because when we sold 10 posters, that's N, 10 is equal to 20 minus X. Well, 20 minus something is 10. Well, what is it? It's 10. What is the greatest possible profit? Well, we know that this is going to be a quadratic, because N times N is N squared. So we need to maximize our profits here. All right, so what I've done is I've taken my original equation, I've distributed the N, and I've combined similar terms. Well, if I were to factor this, because remember in a parabola, this is going to occur halfway between the intercepts, so I'm going to factor this. Well, what goes into both of these terms? N. So I have N times 14, 14 minus N. So my intercepts are 0 and 14. What's it have